Okay, guys, we're recording. Thank you for bearing with me in the technology stuff. So it is Sunday night, and it's March 12th. So we have a lot of people coming in from spring break, and we got some people going out. But we came home last Sunday, Kim, Janice, and I, and some people on our teams from the Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing conference out in Las Vegas. And so I'm just going to take 20 minutes, you guys, and I'm going to give you some nuggets that I took for this, where I think you can get more mileage out of your vehicle, so to speak, okay? And I will tell you, this was a great investment in myself. I have been a network marketer for 10, almost 11 years with the Juice Plus company. I'm second generation network marketing. Some people may or may know that part of my story, but and there are so many industry specific books, but we don't have a lot of industry specific events, right? To go to a conference that was totally geared towards network marketing it was powerful, which is why they call it that. You guys, it really, I think my belief in what we're doing it escalated. And also my belief in understanding where Juice Plus is a little bit different from everything else out there. We do have something very unique in the virtual franchise. And one of the things that we heard over and over from the stage, and Jennifer Myers said we heard more of it last year than this year, is how many times these women have hopped from one company to the next, right? And I think what is really unique about Juice Plus is we tend to attract mission-minded people. And it's probably our greatest strength. It's probably also one of our weaknesses, because we don't tend to attract people that are here just solely to make money. Those people end up in different type of network marketing companies that are super, super focused on the income. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with making money. We all need to pay the bills. And you know what? We are all people that I think we know we're pretty fortunate for what we have in life, where we were born, and what has been given to us that we probably take for granted. We should be out there giving. We should be out paying it forward, and our businesses can really empower us to do that. So that being said, hearing about these women jumping from company to company, it was blowing my mind. I thought, my gosh, would I want to jump from company to company and go to the top? But also understanding that we have something with our virtual franchise that is a much more stable and lasting income model. Most of these women we heard from were making 7 figures or the high 6 figures. And that's great, but if that was going to go away in 2 years because I joined up with a company that wasn't going to be around forever, that's kind of a bummer, because then I got to find a new place to go, and I've got to rebuild that. And what am I taking with me in terms of, are people like, oh my gosh, she's on to another company, right? We have a really unique mission here in that people know we are about inspiring healthy living. But where we can play bigger, ladies, is with our income. There is no reason why each and every person who's listening to this cannot become a 6 or 7 figure earner. There are income earners, lots of them like that in the Juice Plus company. And so, it was really an eye-opener. One of the things that I'm really passionate about using social media. And we had a social media panel and just a lot of information coming at us about social media. But, one of the exercises, and I want you to write this down, and you'll see me post about this week, and you guys can copy that post. But if someone was getting to know you really via Facebook, let's say that I went to high school with Kim Cook. A couple of years ago, we graduated, right? And I don't know what she's been up to or what she's all about since high school. But we reconnected on Facebook. What would be 3 to 5 things that to me would be defining about who Kim is now? You guys, if you want to harness the power of social media to grow your business, you have got to get crystal clear on branding yourself. And one of the women said, she's like, the formula is this simple. And I've trained on this as well. It's 3 to 5 things that you're all about. Okay, this is where you get to carve out your brand. And you don't post about, you really don't post about other stuff. If it doesn't fit that criteria, leave it alone. I've always talked about, you know, please leave politics and vaccination alone on Facebook. I posted once about vaccination. I learned my lesson. But, you know, leave alone really super controversial things, because when you start to narrow yourself down too much, you're walking away from too broad of an audience, because that's what social media provides us, is such a broad audience to reach with these simple messages, you know, inspiring healthy living around the world, taking healthy back, healthy living revolution, you know, and then some of those things that are more characteristic of you. So, you know, if it's me, I talk about mom life, I talk about fitness, talk about raising boys. And I listened to this training. I was like, I need to really sit down and I need to write down, what is my brand? What is, you know, if you went and got 10 of my Facebook friends, I would want them all to have the same answer about who is she? What is she all about? And so I thought that that was really an awesome part of the training to learn about. And again, social media is a door opener. It's a conversation starter. Remember, it's a conversation, not a microphone. Our own NMD, Kim McCall, said that at Phoenix Conference. I'll never forget it. She said, it's a conversation, not, you know, like me on the megaphone, right? So important. But it can open a lot of doors for you guys. And then it needs to go to the relationship. And one of the things that I got from these women is all of them are spending the bulk of their time on events and one-on-ones with people. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I mean, I felt really convicted coming home. Like, I need to change some things on my calendar and how I'm managing my time, because my priorities need to be in those 2 areas, because that's how you build your check. And, you know, we've talked about this in this group, but I also heard it there. Rank advancement is important, right? Walking the stage, who doesn't want to? I mean, you're talking to the girl who loves attention. So I get all of that, but go build your check. Have your goals be around your check. That is how do I say this? If I could empower you to do anything, it would be to do that, because you will totally take control of your life, your calendar, whatever you need to do to go build that check. Rank advancement can very quickly become about who can you get to do what, right? We have no control over our teams. We really don't. We can encourage and train and do all those things, and we should do those things. But at the end of the day, you know, I always tell a story about when I went NMD. 2 weeks before I went NMD, I basically dropped one of the sales coordinator lines I thought was going to be one of my lines, and we built another one, finished that in the last 2 weeks before I went NMD, because it was a smarter way to go about building my structure. So you really never know how these things are going to work out. You've got to focus on that structure. You guys focus on building your check. What's on your calendar this week that will build your check? Okay. So let me give you some, they gave us a really awesome booklet. Let me tell you, for $150, the content we got at this conference, this amazing book that you could take notes in, it was a home run. Network marketing facts, you guys, in 2015, network marketing did $183.7 billion in global sales. I think you guys know this. We're bigger than the movie and television industries. Okay? So people are buying products sold from home-based businesses. And hold on a second. Thank you. Okay. Again, I'm breaking all the rules with etiquette tonight. So, so when you look at that, think about like sky is the limit, right? I mean, your piece of pie is no matter what you do. I mean, if I go out and earn $1 million next year, it's going to be a fraction of that. Okay. Hi. Okay. Salesforce trend size. Just from 2014 to 2015 alone, it grew from 98.9 million to 103.3 million people. And in the US, in 2015, there were 20.2 million people in network marketing businesses. Wild. And they gave us like a little map in here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this was global sales by region, and it showed the planet. But in the U.S., North America, it was $37.7 billion in sales. Western Europe, $29.5 billion. Another $5.9 billion in Eastern Europe. So Europe is almost rivaling North America in sales. So Peggy, talking to your lady from England, like go, go, go. Asia and the Pacific, $84.1 billion in sales. Even Africa and the Middle East, $1.3 billion in sales. That's a growing area. We just opened in Dubai, Israel, a couple of years ago. South and Central America, $25.2 billion in sales. So really some awesome facts. And the gender makeup of direct sellers. So it's really steadily remained over the last 4 years about 75% female globally, and similar in the US. It's about 77% most recently in the US. So there are, a quarter of our force is men. So make sure you guys are talking to men as well. And I mean, in the Juice Plus company, what happens? A lot of women bring their husbands home, right? If you want to, great. If you don't, that's okay too. Okay. So, anyways, that is, sweetie, you're gonna have to be a little quieter. Okay. The booklet kind of started with some cool questions, and I want to share these with you guys. Oh, apple has not fallen far from the tree. They asked us, why are you here? I mean, that was like, okay, why am I really here? I had to juggle a lot of stuff to get here. I had to plan out the expenses, all of that kind of stuff. And we know your why is so important, right? My pastor was actually preaching about that this morning, which was really cool. What's your why? Your why is what gets you through the tough times, you guys. Like, Cassie talked about going through some no's. We've all gone through no's in this business, right? We've all gone through some disappointments. Your why is what gets you out of bed the next morning and gets you back out there and sharing your story again, right? And I wrote down, I'll share this with you guys, I came for greater vision and belief in what I'm doing and where I'm leading others. And, because I always want to be leading, whether it's my team, anybody's team, really casting that vision of like, we are part of something bigger than ourselves. Be excited about it. You guys, this is the place where we've got to remind ourselves every day, we get to build our dreams here. What are you doing this summer? My kids just made a bucket list of summer places they want to go. We're not going to Japan. Great. It's like, think more road trips, kids, but how can you design your life here, right? I always go back to my first regional, and Sean and Jennifer Myers were getting ready to leave on that boat trip. And I thought that was the coolest thing. Not cool because I want to go sail around the world. Like, no thanks. Sharks, no. But cool because they had the option to do that. So I want you guys to really inhale that and then go out and talk to people and exhale that vision on them, okay? They asked us, what have been your greatest wins so far in your experience with network marketing? I mean, there's a great list to make before you go to bed tonight. What have been your greatest wins? You hit a couple disappointments. I've added 6 new distributors in the last couple months. And, there's not been a lot of activity there yet. And so I could get really hung up on that disappointment and not go talk to new people. Or I could remember what one of my mentors told me, where she said, you know what? 1 out of 10 people you bring on your team will probably build a qualified business. It's just a numbers thing, right? That's okay. And you never know when one of those 9 is going to pick up the phone and call you and say, I've had some stuff change in my life. Can I come back to Juice Plus and build a business? Will you help me? Okay. So the next question was, they asked us what we wanted to learn. And I think these are great questions. That's a great question going in a conference. What do you want to learn? What if you asked your team, what do you want to learn if you go to Anaheim? What do you want to get out of it? They asked us about our strategy for our business so far in 2017, actions we've taken and results achieved so far. Well, here we are, guys. We are rolling out all this healthy living revolution and Shred 10 stuff. Those are our strategies, right? And strategies change and evolve over time, right? But these are great strategies that people are having a lot of success with that we want to really sink our teeth into. And okay, so then the next question was, what would you like to achieve, change, explore in your business that would be a game changer for you and your team? And then in bold it said, don't hold back or worry about how you're going to get there, right? Because what does your brain immediately do? It goes,
shuts down.
How do you do that? Right? So it's that little like Magnus old lady sitting on your shoulder, flicker off. And, and I wrote down what my original goal was for 2017 and, holding myself accountable to getting back to work on that. Okay. So, and then the last thing I'll share with you is, what is your vision for your ideal business, life, lifestyle, and relationships? And what would your future look like? Again, you guys got to come back to your own visions so you can cast vision, right? And okay, so I'm going to move on to just a couple more things before I wrap up. Lisa Grossman said this is one of my favorite quotes from the weekend. You will never find another profession that where you will be teaching people to be better than you are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how powerful is that, you guys? This is about raising up and bringing out the best in other people. And I really loved that. So, just really in closing, some of the bigger picture things I heard were work ethic, determination, tenacity. These women have an incredible work ethic, and they go for it. They get up and they go for it every day. And I think that I think work ethic's really, really important here. I think your desire and your coachability and your work ethic are the 3 most important attributes that you bring to the table as a distributor. So think about, how would you rate yourself? The other thing was the quantity of people that they talk to. Bless you. And, really, I mean, they have talked to hundreds and thousands of people. Reagan Dean said all of her NMDs in her organization, they frontlined between 43 and 50 people to go national marketing director. So that's what they recruited frontline to them. Okay, 43 to 50, that's the average. And so how many people would you need to talk to do that? Because remember, you're going to find those key people that duplicate it, right? They get that snapshot of your vision, and they have permission to have vision now for their life. They have permission to move forward. And I think that they also really communicated to us what incredible listeners they are. They are obviously busy, productive women, right? So but they have an amazing ability to really be present and to listen to others. And I thought, you know, what a gift in our business when life is busy and hectic, not just because of Juice Plus activity, right? It's busy with everything else that we've got going on. What a gift it is that we get paid to go out and have a cup of coffee with somebody and just listen, not be all about ourselves and just listen. I mean, like Kim just said at the beginning of the call, what a great example. You know, Kim was sharing with us that someone just joined her team who's very well known because she was on Survivor, and she can't go anywhere in town without getting sidetracked by people who recognize her. And Kim was really just able to gift her with 2.5 hours of peace and quiet and a cup of coffee at her house and to be listened to. Guys, we're living in a world of people that don't feel heard. They don't feel appreciated. They don't feel like they're making a difference. They feel burnt out, but there's more month than there is money in the bank account. So we have something here that we can give to them that can change that. Okay, so that being said, I am going to go ahead and open it up for you guys for Q&A. I know that was really, really brief. And Kim and Peggy, you guys were there. Tammy, were you there? No, okay. Debbie, were you there? No, I didn't think so. Okay. If you guys have anything you want to share, we'd love to hear that.
Well, I just was flipping through my book and looked at my notes from Diana Ross, and she was talking about being accountable and be responsible for yourself. And this is, our business is built in a regular job. We set our hours to work when to vacation, but nobody else is setting them for us. But we have to be responsible to set those hours. Otherwise, the day starts and it ends, and we have done nothing. And one of the things she said was your goal. What do you have to do to hit it? And she went through breaking it down into 52 weeks, 12 months. Then, you know, you just keep breaking it down until you get down to what you need to do each day in order to reach your goal. And she said, reward yourself. She said, if you accomplish something, reward yourself. Don't punish yourself by thinking, oh, I didn't get this done or I didn't get that done. But think about the things you did get done and reward yourself for those. To live for the moment, but don't let the moment rule your life, which I thought was really good. So anyway, those were my takeaways from her that I thought were really good, because it's when you've worked a job away from home, your hours are set. And then when you come to working at home, it's hard to set those hours and keep them. It's easy to get, for me anyway, it's easy to get distracted and think, oh, I need to go do this and I need to do that, instead of saying, no, this is my work time. This is my job, and I need to treat it as such. So, you know, that's that being accountable and being responsible for yourself.
That is so powerful. I'm really glad you shared that. And I want to bring that back to, I mean, a really big takeaway for me was the bigger your organization gets, you guys, the easier it is to be in management mode. And you do not get paid to be a manager. Whether it's senior sales coordinator or national marketing director or 100 Club, that's not what you get paid for. And really coming back to my calendar and being honest with myself, what's the top priority on my calendar this week? Well, for me this week, it's getting people to Dr. Mitra Ray. We have her coming Tuesday. So I love that accountability piece, Peggy. Does anybody want to add on to that, or?
Well, you know, at the wrap-up, Lauren Slocum said, we always talk about getting paid for talking to people. She said, we don't get paid for talking to people. We get paid for getting their order. I was like, well, yeah, bottom line is, you can talk to a lot of people, but if you're not getting them on the dotted line, then you still haven't helped somebody get healthier, and you haven't helped your paycheck either.
Right. Right. Exactly. Kim.
Okay. Gosh, there's so much. Follow-up was huge for me. And who was it? Kirsten Kirschbaum that kind of went over follow-up stuff. And one of the things she said about follow-up was just creating the habit of loving people more. And I don't think I ever really considered follow-up like that exactly. But that really is what it is. We lost you, Ellen. We can see you. Your mouth was moving.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Go to your room.
Now we can hear you. So, and I actually have been sort of trying to focus on that more since I got home. And I actually just messaged somebody yesterday. They've been a customer of mine, but then I don't know, something happened. Their credit card got stolen or whatever, and then she just never really did update, and so her orders just kind of fell off. And I followed up with her a few times over the last few months and haven't gotten a response. Well, and so I just did again last night. I said, hey, I'm just checking in to see how you're doing. She got married last year, and just kind of following up and just checking in on her. And she's like, oh my gosh, I've had so much. I had a tumor removed, and my husband's had health issues, and da-da-da-da-da. And then so pretty soon, and I'm just like, okay, I'll be praying for you, and is there anything I can do for you? And she's like, yeah, I need to order gummies again. So we're going to, replace her order. But all just because I just messaged her to see how she was. So that to me really emphasizes the habit of loving on people more, because that's what I wasn't messaging her to see if she wanted to order again. That wasn't what it was about at all. I was just checking in on her to see how she was.
Cool.
So I don't know. It just, and I've kind of changed my mindset after listening to a lot of that, where I'm not going in with any sort of an agenda. And there was somebody else that was talking about networking with a purpose. And I find myself, like this week, I was invited to a jewelry party or something, and I'm like, okay, I really don't want to go to a flipping jewelry party, but I'm going to go because I love the hostess. And I mean, she's a customer of mine too, but I love her. And so I thought, I'm going to go and support her. But, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, there's going to be other women there, and I'm not going to know them. And, and so I was just talking to them, and, and I did actually have a really good conversation. I truly went to that thinking, I am not going to even have a Juice Plus conversation. I really wanted to just focus on the relationship and getting to know some new people. And just thinking out of that, if you connect with people, then, then maybe you can get them on Facebook, and, and then ultimately maybe down the line, it'll turn into something else. But I really was not focused at all on Juice Plus. I was really focused on just talking to people and getting to know them. But there was a conversation that came up. And then I got a couple, so I have 2 new Facebook friends, and I had a really good conversation out of that party that I didn't want to go to. But I did, because I have to be intentional in my networking, right? That's how we keep our funnel full.
That's great. So what'd you buy?
I bought a pair of earrings. So if I get an order out of it, it'll pay for the earrings, right?
Well, you know what? It just goes back to those global sales numbers. And I always feel like if I'm going to buy earrings or, I don't know, shampoo or anything, skincare, I'd rather buy it from my friend with a home-based business who's, going to take care, most of the time, going to take care of the relationship And I know that that money is paying for karate and piano lessons and the tutor and all of that kind of stuff. So I think that's you're really onto something, Kim, because you probably heard this, but networking doesn't happen at home, right? You got to get out. You know, and we've been told that in this business, but something I have seen since social media really exploded. So Rory is turning 8 years old next month, and about the time he was born was when I got on Facebook and started using Facebook. So we've had a lot of changes in how we communicate and how we connect in the last 8 years, but we have to get out. You've got to take that private message and you got to get out and turn it into a cup of coffee, turn it into going to an event together. You know, go back to some of those basics, you guys, like, you know, buy an SUV and fill it every time you go to Dr. Vitre or Dr. Du Bois or, you know, a Healthy Living Revolution luncheon, whatever it is. And you're still in trouble. So, you know, get back to you know, what was her name? Who was the lady with the glasses? That was like
the first one? Like one of the first ones?
Yeah. She was so good about talking to people. Like she goes to Walmart's every day and talks, and she's got like a script, and she talks to somebody at the checker. And
is that Lisa Grossman?
It wasn't Lisa Grossman. It was, I want to say her name was Denny or Demi.
Deborah.
She was a hoot. It wasn't Deborah, honey. She was so great though, because it was like, I mean, she kind of said this. She's like, I'm not going home till I've got 2 phone numbers. And I was like, dang it, that is powerful, because you know what, you guys, anytime that I have been really gunning for, you know, a rank advancement, whether it was SSC or Q or NMD or a club level, I couldn't help it. I was so enthusiastic. I talked to new people every day somewhere that I went. And so it's a cool exercise. If you look at your calendar for the week, make a list of all the places you're going this week. You know, Costco and the gym and the church, and you know, maybe you're going to visit an elderly relative in a nursing home. Well, guess what? There's tons of people to talk to there. But really hold yourself accountable to, like, I'm not going home till I've got 2 phone numbers.
I'm not finding anybody else in our book with glasses other than Lisa.
She was so, you know what?
I remember what you were talking about though, because she would ask the checker at Walmart when they said, "Did you find everything you needed for something?" And she said, "Yeah," but I found, after 42 years, I found my smile or something. Is that the one you're talking about?
And I can't, she was early on, and I'm like looking through my notes.
I can't find her.
I have so many notes, you guys.
I know, me too. That's why I'm paging through too, and I'm trying to remember who that was.
Too, and I'd get to the bottom of a page, and then on the next page was a picture of somebody, so then I was going backwards to find a page to finish that person's talk, and mine's kind of a mess.
It was Denny Robinson.
Okay.
I think it was this lady, but her picture, she doesn't have glasses on. Wasn't it her?
Oh.
I don't remember. I remember her talking, but I don't remember who it was.
But she was really, like, I thought, my gosh, if you did that with your business every day, it would change your business.
Yeah.
It would change your priorities. You would not put up with a lot of things that you probably tolerate in your life and don't even realize it, because you would be like at Walmart and not leave until you've talked to 2 people.
I'll tell you, the gal that also impressed me was that last speaker, and I cannot pronounce her name, Ayurka, whatever it was.
Yeah, Nurka.
Oh, okay.
She quit school at the age of 15. She had a vocabulary that you would have expected from somebody that had been all the way through graduate school. You talk about getting out of your comfort zone. She was on the floor of Wall Street at age 19 and conducting meetings for top execs in a company. I was like, holy cow. But she was fantastic.
Yes, she was.
Oh my. She was really.
She talked also about fill your hearts with and minds with grace. I mean, she was utterly amazing. I wish I had a recording.
I think we have live stream access for 30 days if we went.
We do.
The other one I loved was Gloria Mayfield Banks, and she was on the $1 Million Earners panel. And she, you can't say what company you're with. She accidentally said she's with Mary Kay. But, I mean, she was just the most elegant, graceful, poised, high energy woman who, as much as she believed in herself, she believed in others. And, it's just so cool. I'm like, it's so opposite of the world out there and some of the negative messages in the world out there. I just, I loved that panel. So, and
I've heard her before, and she is utterly amazing. I love listening to her.
Yeah, apparently she is literally the top earner in Mary Kay.
Okay.
I was just talking to my Mary Kay lady Friday night, and I was telling her about this event and how, I thought how much she would have gotten out of it. And I said, I know there was a couple of Mary Kay people that were talking, or I would have guessed one of them, Gloria, I knew because she said, but there was a couple other ones that I suspected might be in Mary Kay. But anyway, she said, yeah, she is the top earner in Mary Kay.
And she's dyslexic.
Yeah.
Yes. And went to Yale?
Yeah.
Harvard, Yale?
Yale or Harvard. Yeah.
She said this, you guys. She said, never take advice from someone you're not willing to exchange places with.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very true.
I will tell you guys, I had some naysayers super close to me on my journey, especially when I went through my divorce, and some people that hurled some pretty tough stuff at me. And you got to be feisty like this gal is, because I said to that person, I said, would you like to pay my bills then? She was like, I was like, you get back to me if you change your mind.
Yeah.
A whole pile of them. So really, like, think about that though, in terms of like that principle we teach of like, who are the 5 people you're spending the most time around? You guys spend time with each other. You spend time with your upline. You spend time with, honey, you cannot run the blender right now. He's making a shake. But really, get advice from people that they've got it together or they're putting it together.
Yeah.
Okay. So anything else you guys want to add or questions? You guys, do you think you're going to go back next year?
Well, I don't know. I would love to, but it's right before our conference.
No.
Which makes it really hard. And I asked Jennifer if she was going to get a block of tickets, and she, at that point, didn't think she probably would, simply because it's right on top of ours. The timing just isn't good. And that's one thing that he did say. He said, if this conference interferes with your own company conference, you go to your company conference, which I thought was, oh, okay, because he could be pushing his to the limit, and But that was, to me, that was one of the great things about that whole weekend. We all were from different companies, and yet everybody was there to learn the same skills. And the presenters all presented the skills without biasing or bringing in any kind of company references at all. It was just, and we could wear no company logo. We could not talk about our company. We could not promote any of our products. That was not the purpose of that conference. And I thought that was absolutely amazing when you get 5,000 people and nobody is wearing company logo, nobody is talking about their company, the speakers are not, and yet we're all there wanting the same skills, even though when we go home we might be competing, but we all need those same skills.
Did he talk about having a smaller event? Because I went to one of Eric Worre's events in Dallas last April, and it was a one-day event, but it was totally amazing. And the same thing, we're not going to talk about what our industry is, but lots of great pointers that helped our businesses and helped us to become better people, because people out there are looking for leaders that are positive, and they talk about whatever you put out there, you attract. And so those kind of things are very powerful. So I'm hearing a lot of that from what y'all saw this last weekend as well. So.
I mean, I think if you could go to something Eric Worre local, absolutely go, you guys. It's a great investment of your time and your money. And I don't think we say it enough here. I mean, this with building for conference, you guys, it's such an important investment in yourself. And the only way you get those returns are by going. And we run into that employee mentality so much out there, right? I run into it in myself, for goodness sake. And I grew up in an entrepreneurial family, so it's out there. It's what it is. But I always go back to that analogy of if I'm 25 years old and I start putting $100 a month away in my IRA, $100 is not super significant, right? But that's super significant when I'm 55 years old if I've done it consistently every month, right? And that's the thing about our personal growth and our activities. We've got to stay consistent and we've got to invest in ourselves. You are going to go out there and you're going to get some no's, you're going to get some yeses, you're going to ride through some hills and valleys. And, feeding yourself is one of those key pieces to continuing to move forward. So, anyways, anything else you guys want to add?
Healthy snack.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to add? I'm going to end the recording.